Oh, hey everyone. You caught me while I was picking off my face. Press Dior here, Cultist Simulator, let's get started. Alright. Got the notoriety. We've done all of the low tier stuff. We should be okay for a little bit more exploring. I'm just kind of looking and seeing what other options I have available to me. Okay, our notoriety is going to get hit. Cleared our mines. Use our obscene amounts of wealth to just buy medicine. Got a glimmering. Go ahead and up our passion. Got a Silent Disciple, which I'm guessing is Winter type. Yep. Put you with you. Bring all this back down here. Alright. Alright, almost done with all of our upgrades. Alright, this Connie Lee has been a huge pain. She's not well, she is tenacious, but she isn't fucking, there's another type that always succeeds at getting evidence. And, she doesn't have that, but she's succeeded pretty much every time. I think she's failed once. She is kind of a problem. And there's not really an easy way to deal with her either. So, just bad things all the time. Oh wait, we do have a place to explore with the Forsaken Reach. Duh. I forgot I moved it over here. Alright. Let's go ahead and get that started then. Actually, we need to deal with the evidence. We have a reasonably reliable chance of getting the evidence, rid of the evidence, but if it fails, there's a chance we'll kind of lose everything, or we'll lose significantly, which does not help. All right, we did our resting. Let's go ahead and do this. That going for us. Alright. What books we got? Traveling at Night. All this should be translated. It is. Let's do volume 2 of this thing. Flood, or pseudo-flood, suggests alignments between the alchemical tradition of Ribetto and the older Grail traditions through the Pine Knight's quest for the Cinnabar Cup. Alright, we'll take the risk. We'll see what happens. You are a heart type. Good for you. Alright, so easiest way to get rid of evidence is with a moth aspect. So if we can ever get to like, you know, 21 worth of moth, we can actually get we can always succeed at removing evidence. Using just a rank 5, we have about a 70% chance. And if you fail, there's a chance that you could lose the person. But we'll try it. Send a devious minion to destroy evidence. My scheme will most likely succeed. There's always a chance that something will go awry. I'll say the chance is pretty freaking high. My luck with getting rid of evidence has not been fantastic in my previous runs. But we'll see. Alright, got some erudition, which we'll probably use to go ahead and get that essay taken care of. Furtive truth. Boop. Glimmering. Okay, cool. So we got that going for us. So with that glimmering, might be able to take care of all of our stat books. So since I'm here, let's go ahead and sell this book. Money is not an issue for us anymore. I mean, I could probably just let myself get demoted at this point. But I would like to finish that quest line if possible. Seek the cup in the birthing bed, the Pine Knight is told. The midwife at the birthing bed, to his amazement, is the Mountain Mother. In a fit of awe, he both gelds and flays himself. The vigilant storm burst joyfully from the remains. A Magalesian incantation, the Great Mother remembers. So this is a tier 2 Grail lore. Alright. Let's see. 160. Okay, these are pretty even. Let's get rid of... let's do the reason first. Get that taken care of. And I'm about to get dread, aren't I? Yep, I am. Okay, my minion is returned. The evidence has been destroyed. I'm a little safer. Alright, cool. So he actually succeeded. Failing it, he'll either return and had failed, and I would get notoriety, which will put me in an even worse spot, or he won't return at all. The evidence will still be there, and I get notoriety for the ultimate wombo combo there. Alright, people are doing their thing. We're good to go on this front, so let's go ahead and finish up this last ceremony. Alright, got some money. Let's go ahead and go on to this last little expedition. I honestly don't know who we need for this. So we'll take we'll take Slee for some lantern. And we'll take Eldridge for some additional muscle. The law does not touch this decaying fringe of the city. The mud here has claimed many lives, and there will, no doubt, be some wretched criminals or some lairing in the warehouse. Well, I needed contentment, so that works out. Excuse me. Alright, alright, this has actually 2 obstacles. We need a lantern or forge. And then there is the watchers. So we actually have the right types for what we need. Obviously the watchers you can either deal with by edge. I think moth can work, and I know grail can work. Essentially you can either trick them, seduce them, or fight them. And then for the pits and quacks, you either need light from a lantern, or you need someone that can build you things like the forge. So we'll go ahead and get the lantern all topped off at 10. A practical disciple. This one has forge. Okay, that takes care of pretty much all of that. So we'll go ahead and put the tools away for now. We call upon the watchman who navigates. The watchman will clear our sight so that we can pass without error, so there's no chance of failure. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Rose in here so we can get 10 and edge. That'll take care of the watchers. Guardian, an entity that has been charged with preventing entry. And peril, an obstacle, a danger, or a premature conclusion. Forgot to read this before. Alright. We got some reason. We got some raisins. Let's go ahead and keep finishing up these books. We'll read up on... actually, we'll finish up the Traveling at Night. Illipoli's disquisitions on fire and the unburnt god are interrupted by passages of distractingly erotic poetry addressed to Baldomera. Any more contentment. Something at least. Alright, we can put you away too. Let's put you back up here. There we go. Getting all organized. Alright, let's go ahead and get this going. Thank you. Safe across the treacherous ground. We're mud splattered and thorn scratched, but we've made it through. The expedition continues, blah blah blah. We have enough money. We have one more obstacle, but we have 1 coin left. We have 10 in both lantern and edge, so we shouldn't need anything. Alright, we got erudition, but we don't need it. To reach the stag door, I believe that all you really need is to want something enough. But I've never wanted anything that much, except, of course, Baldomera. I'm afraid that the knot in the story might be this. What Baldomera wants is the stag door, but here's something I learned in Persia. Perhaps it'll teach you what you want. We got a Smith's secret. Alright, next. Let's go ahead and read up on this book. This volume deals mostly with the hours of the wood, the moth, the black flax, the ring yew, among others. Alright, got an investigation, but we should be able to avoid it for now, before more trouble comes. Our strength is matchless. The Watchers will regret standing against us. I really kind of want to go and deal with Glover and Glover at this point. Their blood pumps bright, then dark. They should not have opposed us. We move on. So that's all taken care of. Or erudition, and we got a barber's warning. The glory is a question, and the moth always answers yes. The black flax's answer is no, and that is always its answer. Alright. We do have the collection of poetry. I'm not going to worry about it right now. What I will do is start upgrading my moth. So what I can do is I can upgrade this to the next tier, then combine it with the one that I already have, and then combine that with the already I have, and get up to tier 4 on a moth lore, which would help out quite a bit. We got some erudition, so as long as we don't need glimmerings, we could probably get this working. Never mind, I have a glimmering. So this white door thing, it's pretty good. In my previous playthrough, I had so much funding that I got a lot of books ahead of time, and I ended up getting plenty of lore, so I pretty much just rushed through the wood, the white door, and the riddle without actually going into the other doors. So I was just right off the bat just going after like upper tier stuff. But it's actually really convenient. Alright, Connie had nothing to follow, so we're good to go on that. A delayed deliverance, a barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. Alright, so something I just want to check out. Send a devious minion to drive an annoyance insane. I want this irritation out of my way. The scheme will probably succeed, but if it fails, it will draw attention. I'm gonna have attention anyway because of the exploration we just did. I'm just taking a look at a few things. Alright, let's do some exercise while we wait. I do want to do some painting, but for right now, this is all we're going to have to work with. I actually need to get 6 glimmerings. But I'll do that later when we have more opportunities to do stuff. Alright, the Watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. Alright, the second DeHorace book. 19th reprint, blah 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 blah. That's practically the same. The Ceaseless Tantra. The avant-garde choreographer Nicholas Carroll supposedly incorporated this tantra into his menacing ballets. And we got a little bit of money. That's fine. That's doable. Alright, so next... Okay. I want to do actually, Karashim's the default one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Let's do some of the other ones first. Alright, we'll do Keglin Scratch. Let's see if we can get this going. So for this place, tunnels crumble, blah 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 blah. Alright. I'm gonna take a forge. forge, and we'll take a lantern. We prepare for the descent. We bring rope, tools, light. We arm ourselves against anything down there that may yet move. Let's go without. Let's go. Yeah, we'll do it. Why not? It's not. I don't think it's a good idea, but I'll do it. We'll see what comes up. Okay, you need reason. That's fine. Got that going for us. Got some vitality, which we can actually use for up there. We need forge or lantern, so that's a double dip. And then we have the Fretful Dead, which requires not all of the dead rest easy. These ones dislike our intrusion. We can prevail against them with edge, or they make a Bay one who comes in the name of winter. Alright. So, I do have enough edge if I go and start donating right now. So what I'll do first, we need to get through the obstacle first, I believe. So we need forge or lantern. We have both. We'll do forge just for a change of pace. Ranging Night Terrors for an annoyance, I await word. We invoke the Madrugad, an hour of forge as well as winter. We'll make our path, our own path through. Success is certain. Alright, well, while that's going, we'll start upping our edge. And that should get us good to go. My minion has returned. The annoyance is no longer capable of lucid speech, let alone capable of annoying me further. So the timer's back to 90 seconds. With the younger Glover gone, I might rise even higher. If you don't attend this job regularly, you may suffer a demotion. So it's no longer an annoyance. Alright. So with that in mind, is there anything I want to play around with? Not really. Oh, I didn't show off this new right. Right of the map's edge, it's Invocation, Offering, Instrument, and Desire. So this is one that takes invocations and instruments mainly. Fascination. That is 2 moth. Also have Contentment, which is 2 heart, 2 lantern. Alright. And then we have Sunset Rites, which requires influence as well. Uses an assistant as well as an invocation. Oh, add Grail? Nope, not high enough. What if I did, yeah, I don't have anything that's high enough. What if I did Contentment? That is Lantern. Yeah, I just don't have anything that's high enough. That's fine. Alright, let's go back to work, shall we? My job is demanding. I'll need to devote my reason to it. Curl my hands into the correct shapes and begin. Ambition. The younger Glover's board seat remains unoccupied. Now, putting passion in here will not end the game, because we're aiming for something a little bit higher. Safe across the treacherous ground, that's good. Got more restlessness. Alright, expedition continues. We'll give a edge aspect, so that'll get us up to 10. And so that should make the expedition safe for the rest of the run. Oh, I now need erudition, but my erudition just expired. So hopefully it still succeeds. We got 2 out of 3. Alright. When I close my eyes, figures march behind my eyelids. When I open them, the light hurts. So we exhausted some passion and reason this time. I could paint, and that'll take care of the restlessness. I'm just wondering if it's worth my time. Let's do it. Do some painting. So you can actually use notoriety to increase the attract attention to make more money, or add mystique. But it also may attract more attention, to say the least. Even if you don't put any notoriety or mystique in this, you'll still get mystique out of it. Passion makes it more distinctive. So we're just going to do this, and then my inspiration will be that. Now, this actually takes multiple things now. A worthy subject isn't essential, but it's useful. Some subjects will draw the authorities' attention, but aren't those the interesting ones? You can do a follower, a lore, an acquaintance, or an influence. So if I want to, I can literally put porter in here and do a portrait. I can do one of these and make esoteric art, which will definitely attract attention. And, you know, there's also, of course, restlessness and other influences. Our strength is matchless. The dead are pale as inverse shadows. They move like cobwebs in a breeze. They can't stand before us. We'll send them mumbling back into the shadows of the wood. And we made it. Good. I've increased my mastery of the lore of the wood, which we call by its aspect, moth. So, got that going for us. So we'll go ahead and combine these two now. Alright, I could spend money on better paints, or I can use an exotic pigment. So I can either use paint, or pigments, which I have 2 of, or I can use money. Now pigments, what they could potentially do is you can actually make some really kind of fancy paintings with that. But your chances are higher if you have maxed out painting, which I don't have yet. It's not a big deal if you use a pigment and it doesn't do anything, because you can easily get more pigments by just exploring, doing expeditions. Alright, a bunch of stuff just happened. Like, a bunch of stuff, especially here. Alright, so I see the mistakes, but I also see the end. For quality work, there's something special. It may provoke a reaction. Something should sell. So we made 1 coin off this. And we got a bunch of contentment and mystique, which is pretty much all the stuff I didn't really want. So that didn't really get me anywhere. Let's go ahead and do our senior position here. Alright, anyway, while that's all going on, let's go back into the depths here. Alright, we did that. When the dead return to us, they use what matter they can if their bodies are gone. Dust, rust, cobwebs, scraps, and tatters. Now we have broken them. These tatters are all that remain. Alright, reason to start. More contentment. Once a lady, the air is stale and dust sifts worryingly down from the rock above, but the dead lie still. This chamber, with its chalked figures and ancient stains, looks promising. Alright. So the good news is the notoriety is going to fade, but I'm going to get new notoriety in a second. Collect all that. That going. Also, I need to translate a bunch of text. Alright, so that's still doing its thing. Alright, 6 order influence. Maybe we can do something with this. Not high enough. Summon a sharp-edged lantern thing. A hint was once a living mortal, and then a dead one, and now it's something else. Their summoning requires lantern for the light which drew them into the mantis, and edge for the striving they've endured in the mirrors. Let's do a summoning, shall we? I'll take 60 seconds. I'll also ensure that that friggin' influence doesn't turn into fascination. In the lead-lined sarcophagus lies the skeleton of a woman. She wasn't buried here. It looks like she crawled in to die. Something has happened to the shape of her skull, pushing out the jaw like the muzzle of a beast. Scraps of rotting linen swathe her bones. Treasures lie among the remains of her clutching hands between her ribs. A bronze spintra, sorry. Initiates of the hidden world use blah blah blah. Displays the act of shaping on their reverse side. So this thing has a forge aspect. So we can use that to learn a language, but I don't think we have any languages we want to learn anymore. A meteoric bullet. Tainite iron bullets are occasionally dug from the skeletons of unusual beasts. Across Europe, the Middle East, and India, someone has been hunting monsters. Has 4-edge aspect and is a tool. Not bad. And a text of the Sisterhood of the Knot, unearthed by Evan Morphy. And this actually is an Aramaic text, which we don't have any way of learning at the moment. But we can learn it, because we do have someone who can teach it. This fellow here can teach Aramaic, so that'll take care of that issue. Also, we have a bunch of these commissions we still need to do. So we're gonna be busy. Anyway, I'm going to wait until the summon is done before I do anything, I think. Yes, I'm gonna wait until the summon is done. Erudition, which I don't have. didn't succeed. That's fine. I have erudition now, but I don't really care. Let's go ahead and talk to this fellow. I need to learn Aramaic. I'm gonna go ahead and use this bronze spintra, because I don't really know any other uses for bronze besides the learn languages with, or use it as a component. Okay, got that going. Our reason came over here for some reason. Alright. Just keep going through that door, please. Grab what we can. The Hinter do not indulge themselves with showy entrances. A living gaze will shatter them. I know it's here, and that's enough for now. So, we have our first summon. This is known as a hint. The Hinter are most comfortable behind the scenes, behind the mirrors, behind you. They slide under doors and kill with glass, but they cannot survive the gaze of a living mortal. Devour. If this breaks free, it may assault you or consume your followers. It has rank 8 in Edge, rank 8 in Lantern. And it's a summon. I could potentially send this after Connie Lee, but Connie Lee has the Mystic aspect, which makes it her super duper resistant to summon attacks. But what we can do with this thing is we can go on expeditions with it. I'll provide 8 Edge, 8 Lantern. Beneath the surface of the lake, or in some cliffside nook, perhaps some relics remain for us. Alright. So what I need is I will take... So I already have Lantern and Edge. I'll do a little bit of Heart and see what happens with it. So we're good on that front. Keep working at Glover and Glover. It is exhausting that passion, so it is doing something, even though it doesn't look like it. So we did our first right, everyone. We actually, did some cultist stuff. Well, besides, mystical cultist stuff, rather. Alright, so this thing has literally only one thing. The mother, younger sister. The mother of ants was born among serpents. She has very many younger sisters. It can be defeated in battle or respond to the mother's power. So you can either beat it with Edge or the mother's power. The mother's power is knock. But we don't need to worry about that. Alright, this puts us at 13 Edge. We're good to go. The language of the visions of Amram, of the Book of Daniel, and the account of Kanishk at the spider's door. So there we go. Got that going for us. Let's go ahead and do some... Let's do some translation, shall we? If I can get another glimmering, I could get that poetry taken care of. Our strength is matchless, eyes like gas lamps, scales like black jade. A serpent is a powerful foe, but it's nothing before us. Yeah, because we got this freaking hint here, which is just a thing that literally can't be seen normally. Well, they can be. If they get seen, they die. A promotion. My son, the elder Glover confides, was a dear boy, but he did lack ambition. You, on the other hand, burn with it. I see myself in you. Do you know that? I do. Well, I think we can find you a place on the board of directors. We just got ourselves 5 funding. The younger Glover's disappearance left his seat empty. I now occupy it. If you don't attend this job, you may suffer demotion. The hours of the working day wait in ranks before me. I might just go home after lunch. So now the timer is 100 seconds between each shift. And this thing only takes has a scandal slot, which is a magnet. My high position now affords me some protection against scandal, but the firm grows too concerned. I may be dismissed. So this thing is pretty helpful, because now all we have to do is just visit. We don't have to use reason, we don't have to use passion, and we're just going to get a bunch of free money. Also, it's 50 seconds, so every 50 seconds we'll just get a bunch of money. Essentially, we'll get 4 funding. But it's going to suck up any notoriety we pick up, and eventually they're going to kick us out if we have too much heat around us. But it does keep the heat off of the investigation, so I'm completely fine with that. I'm going to just let myself get fired through notoriety because I have so much money now, it's not an issue. The serpent rolls and roars. Its death throes shake the earth, but it's dying. We will pass. Alright, got the translation done with that. Translate this. Alright, I'm gonna hold off on the dreaming for now. An expression of concern. I have been summoned into the presence of Elder Glover, the only Glover now. He shifts uncomfortably in his seat. I have heard, he begins. He hesitates. He looks me in the eyes. I don't want to hear anything more about that. Not another word. Not a word. We still get $4. And we're good to go. The days are past when I could head home after lunch. My colleagues have begun to suspect what I am. They know nothing of what I could be. It looks like I'm probably going to lose the job faster than I thought. I got about 4 or 5 notoriety in before I got kicked out before, I think. That's okay. It's hardly an issue. They just don't understand my greatness, really. A glimmering. Sweet. We can actually get that poetry taken care of. The chapel roots. There are ruins beneath the water, just beneath that waiting depth. The lake has risen a little in all these years, but not enough to keep us out. Give me a moment. Okay, sorry about that. I was just checking my time. Oh, just in time. I reviewed tidy columns of figures in a tidy 5th floor room from my office window. I can see the river. My secretary brings me a hot drink every 59 minutes. The river is the color of rain. The chapel crypt is flooded and the water soupy with old corpse matter, but at last we bring up a wax-sealed coffer. 18th century, no older than that. Let's see what's within. Alright, a white so pure that it remains visible even in darkness. Refulgen. This is a pigment. So we'll add that to the other pigments we have. I'll just put these up here for now. On Matthias and the Amethyst Imago loss. The diagrams and illustrations, even across the centuries, are elegant, hypnotic, occasionally erotic, and Aramaic. Malleus Imperative. A tiny earbone blackened by intense heat. Applied correctly, it can crack stone. This is a tool that provides 8 forge. Which is rather significant at this point. Now the question is what can I do with 8 forge? At this moment, not much. That's okay. Alright. We're gonna keep doing expeditions. Sending a hint, among other things. I'm gonna go ahead and just send this Percipient Disciple, and that'll get me a 10 and lantern. Out into the mudland, somewhere we are certain is a shrine bedecked with precious oddments, or oddments. If the locals try to kill us, we are probably heading in the right direction. Alright. In the meantime, I'm just checking something. Okay, so this is a bug. This commission is bugged. It says level 6, you only need level 2. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out some commissions while we're here. So we can get that going. And knock out 1 commission between each shift. The notoriety is gonna hit us no matter what. There's not much we can do about it. And if we get I've heard, at least glancing through forums here and there, if I get demoted, there's no way to get back into the board. So I'm just gonna let myself get fired instead. Alright, so once again, Watchers and Treacherous Ground, we do have enough forge, and we can easily get enough lantern. And that should take care of all of our issues. Alright. So I got that taken care of. The translation's going, please. Alright, finish the manuscript. So now I can do this. I'll fulfill the commission for that. Get back to work. I'm gonna get scandaled. That's fine. I'm not concerned about it. We got some Glimmerings, Mystique, and an Iron Spintra. So that puts that person in cooldown. Level 4 in Forge for this one. Which I can't do yet because I need to actually finish the commission. So, once again, save across the treacherous ground, nothing new there. And we'll be fighting the Watchers next, which is also going to be a non-issue. Alright, those are translated, those are translated, this is not translated. So get that Sanskrit going. Got some restlessness, not a big deal. Alright, I reviewed tidy columns of figures in the tidy 5th floor room. Okay, so nothing bad happened. We didn't get caught. Alright, well while that's going on, let's get this taken care of. Finish another commission. Alright, yeah, with an edge, we have no issues with, or sorry, not an edge, a hint. We can easily handle most of the conflicts. Alright, so I finished all the books, that's good. Let's do some reading. The Morphe Codex. Yeah, I read this. Okay. I think so. In which a priestess of the Sisterhood of the Knot claims to have discerned the true meaning of a Thunderskin's birth. The writer credits the Red Grail, the Ringu, and the Horned Axe, the powers of the Sisterhood, reveres with agreeing a final treaty between the Hours of the House and the Hours they displaced. The Thunderskin loved the Yu, and the Grail destroyed him, as restitution for the slaying of the Horned Axe's sisters and brothers. Okay. More of that. He wants a substantial edge. Okay, not a big deal. That is doable. Here on a flat rock, inches above the marsh water, is a throne carved of yew wood, ripe with fungus, ornamented with tarnished copper. This is the shrine we seek. The Thunderskin entered the manses through the Peacock Door, a privilege never given to the witch and sister, but then their merit was much less. The writer admits that entry through the Peacock Door is unseemly, but insists that under the circumstances there was no other way. Alright, this is a forbidden epic. Attention of the Hours is drawn to the bloodiest wars. Afterwards the histories are braided like hair. Exploring with this will reveal secret locations in the land beyond the forest across the continent. The laws of the house forbade Matthias to love. The customs of the wood forbade the Imago to remain. So he conjured her a final time when she had uncovered the shears of Alikapura, and she suffered him to cut the wings from her back so that she might remain. And he suffered her to cut the parts which hold man's seed to keep them from the detestable act. This was love in all its blood and joy. We have cast out Matthias from the house. Alright. Alright, we don't have anything for the knock, but we do have stuff for the secret histories. Apple green paint marks a ritual circle on the rock. The remains of sacrifices pass squelch beneath our feet as we search the shrine. In a little hollow in the throne rests an oiled bundle of treasures. It's more of refulgin, or refulgin. Bar and Spintra, or Bronze Spintria rather. And Book of True Blood in Latin, a work by Cassius the Thauman. Alright, Crocus Hill. The one who came here before us had marked the door on the hillside, and here it may yet be, but it is sealed beside with stone and a binding spell. I think I might need Forge for that, so I can break open a door. Yep. An engineer or an adept has ensured this door will not open easily. Forge or knock will defeat it. Alright, so we'll get the forge going, and that should take care of that area. The right of the map's edge was given to us by the Vagabond. It is the right that Matthias used to summon the Amethyst Amigo. But like many summoning rights, it could be used to conjure almost any entity given the appropriate tool and the appropriate influence. Use it gently in the memory of the name and the long who suffered those agonies that they might be joined. Alright, so we already have this right, so we just get it again, that's it. But we did also get a parable, so that's good. Alright, we'll go ahead and translate this book. Translations out of the way. Alright, we're gonna get that notoriety again, not a big deal. Call upon the Forge of Days, who ends what will not change. Our tools are ready. We should be able to penetrate the warded door. We call upon the Forge of Days, who will end all nights. He'll almost certainly shatter this warded door. Alright, so that takes care of that. Alright, more of this. Unfortunately, most of the low-tier Spintrias we don't really need at this point. What we really need is silver, which unfortunately is... we would have to do things like very substantial stuff, which is... you can only have one commission at a time, so even if you didn't get the right one, you still have to do it just so you can get more of them. Alright, so that's a commission from Moth. Now the good news is, since right now our job is dealing with all the notoriety, I don't have to worry about Connie Lee being a pain in my back. The death of a door. All doors must open, as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. Alright, all of our stuff has been studied. Let's go ahead and read the Book of True Blood. The Legion's legate answered directly to the hour, called the Tribune of Scars, and was promised immortality if he died in battle. I have received a formal but oddly apprehensive letter hand delivered from the firm of Glover & Glover. My services as director are no longer required, but I have been awarded quite quite a generous severance payment. The firm hopes very much that there are no ill feeling. The signature on the letter is a little shaky. So we get 8 funds, and that's it for Glover & Glover. We have 81 funding right now. That is more funding than we'll ever need. So, with that, let's go ahead and, well, I think we'll become painters now. So my goal here is just to get some glimmerings. For my inspiration, let's do... We'll do a portrait of Cat Cairo. Alright, treasures before us, that's fine. Oh, actually, we got a problem. The Mystique is actually making her stay around, so we're actually in a little bit of trouble. Alright, since I have a Sparrow Fulgen, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to use it. Colors of Night. I could spend money or better paints on better paints, or perhaps I can find an exotic pigment. So we'll do this. This is a lantern pigment, which is why I used Cat Cairo, because she's a lantern. She's my best lantern at the moment. And we'll see what happens. All conviction, the world goes away. Got some dread. In the final part, Cassius confesses to being a former legate. He recounts his terror of the Tribune and divulges the secret lore of the Golden General, the champion of the Shadowless Empire, the enemy of the Tribune, in hope that the Tribune will someday be undone. We got a dread from that. But we also got a rank 5 Edgelord. The Lionsmith's names. The Lionsmith is young by standards of the hours, but old by the standards of war. His names are recent recruits, and their recitations has a savage power. 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is, yeah, rank 5. One thing you might have noticed on some of the pictures is the ranks are represented by how much of a ring it completes. So 0, of course, a rank 1 has, of course, nothing. Rank 2 has 1. Rank 3 goes to that. Rank 4 goes about halfway, and rank 5 goes beyond that. So essentially, this goes all the way to rank 8. Though that's pretty rare to see. Alright, we'll continue our studies. The Ceaseless Tantra is devoted mostly to warnings about the lively creatures called percussagants, but concludes with a chant which can be used to summon them. It observes that percussagants can be taught any dance, but they prefer only one. A worthy medium. This will show the best advantage in utter darkness like us all. Finished. Hello. Something unique. I've made something unique. So look at all this stuff here. Like all this, like, essentially potential treasure. I've made something unique, something extraordinary, something I will never dare to exhibit publicly. This cannot possibly ever see daylight. It will earn no funds or reputation. Alright, others have been here before us. Power still lingers, and no doubt they used it in their ceremonies. They have taken some of the Warrior King's funeral treasures, but left something of their own. Warrior's End. Bone Flute. Oops. Bone Flute. Its sound will cease. This is a rank 4 winter artifact. Or tool, sorry. The irreproachable traditions. The reproachable traditions of the Society of the Noble Endeavor in Latin. Lab heights are the youngest of the Lionsmith's servants. When rendered to powder, they retain their potency, but not their beauty. This is a rank 8 edge tool. We also got an icy atmosphere, which is rank 6, which is probably going to turn into dread if I don't use it. And we'll go ahead and get this last location started of the Shires. This is of course the generic one. Slink along the streets to a once fine townhouse, surreptitiously case the back garden. Odd stories circulate about the woman who lives here. She might be an adept, a collector, or even the rare thing called imposa. We must be watchful. Alright. I've made something unique. The door in the eye. He came from the glory we cannot help but see. It can only exist once. It's a tool that is rank 8 in Lantern. So yes, you can make paintings based off the various aspects. I'll try to paint them all, but it does have some requirements. You generally have a pretty high chance of succeeding if you use more of the type, as well as much passion as possible. The most passion you can use in a painting is 4 if you have high enough painting. We did get 3 glimmerings out of that, as well as a intensity of radiance, so that's a thing. I would like to try to get the last bit of glimmerings if possible, but I don't think I have a way to do that. We'll try to go for another painting and get that out of the way. We'll use the icy atmosphere, which will make a mood piece. And we'll go ahead and call this a video. I'm the Depressed Hero, and this was Cultist Simulator. See you guys later.